Okay, welcome back everybody. Of course, this is Python for Beginners, and the first time that we met, we actually talked about different types of variables. And so I talked to you about strings, integers, floats, and even Boolean values, okay? So to take the next step, we actually need to talk about math operations because a lot of stuff that you will do, a lot of the things that you will do in your code is you are going to evaluate expressions, math operations. And of course, my dog is um, not being very quiet down there. Anyway, so in order to get us started, you need to understand that the basic math principles that you learned in grade school apply to the computer. Okay, so it does understand, your programming language will understand how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. It will also understand the order of operations in terms of parentheses, exponents, grouping by certain numbers, and what comes first? Multiplication, division, then addition and subtraction, left to right. So if we were to do all of this, then we can evaluate each of these because I have here some variables, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, and they are associated with an expression. So they don't they when I print out A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and so forth, I'm not going to print out this 5 plus 2. That will not print. So for example, if I were to comment this out and simply say, okay, print out A is up here, you know, the first time we did this, it printed out, or it showed to the console um, the value that it was associated with, okay? So this time is actually going to print out what the expression evaluates to, okay? So we need to know that up front. Let me uncomment all of these, is that we are looking at the math operations here and not just reprinting. Now, if I did this, this is a little bit, I don't want all this to print. So, and I'm committing my own cardinal sin in that I said I was going to not go live with stuff. Anyway, so if we did 5 plus 2 and we were to run this, then we would print out 5 plus 2 because this 5 plus 2 is now a string, because we said if it's inside the quotation marks, whether it be single or double, it's a string. And so it would print out the value of that string. But I don't want to print out 5 plus 2 right now. I simply want to evaluate that math operation. And as we saw a little bit earlier, it is 12. So we do know that 17. It is 5 plus 12 does equal 17. Okay, but then we need to figure out, well, this is 10 minus 4 divided by 2. And if we remember our math operations and the order of operations, we know that multiplication and division will occur before any subtraction, any addition. Okay, so the first thing that this should evaluate to is 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. And then we have 10 minus 2, and that equals 8. So if we were to do that, and I'm going to do this step by step. Okay, we get an 8. Now, the reason this has defaulted to 8.0 is that will always occur in a division evaluation. Okay, so it will default to, because in division, you can get partial numbers. So 17 divided by 2 will give you something plus a remainder. Okay, so it will default to that. So that's nothing to be afraid of or scared of or even worried that that is what happened. That's what the program is designed to do. Okay, and we saw. Okay, so in computer language, in coding, the multiplication sign is not the X that we're accustomed to. In computer language, the multiplication is done by an asterisk. So that's your 8 key. It's the shift 8 up here on your keyboard. And that's going to give you the multiplication. And then when the program reads this, when the computer reads this, it's going to think that's 2 times 9 divided by 3. And this will occur left to right as it's seen. So multiplication and division will always occur left to right. Now, it will occur in that order. So it should do this. 2 times 2 times 9, whatever that is, divide all of that by 3. So 2 times 2 is 4, 9 fours are 36, and 36 divided by 3, I believe is 12. So I'm hoping my math is correct. We're about to find out. And it is. And of course, because there's a division, you see the 0.0. This is a straightforward division problem. So it is 12 divided by 2, which is 6. And so we know everything. And then this, of course, is 6. Let's go ahead and run it. And we do get 6. So far, so good. So this is a bit specific here. Now we have a parentheses grouping of numbers, 2 plus 5. We then have a multiplication to 12, and then all of that divided by 4. So if this were to follow math operations, everything in the parentheses should be done first. That's a 7. 7 times 12 is 84, and 84 divided by 4 is hopefully something positive. And I'm trying to think of it in my head as we go forward, but I'm probably not going to get to it fast enough. 21. Perfect. But you see the math operations do work. So this did go to 7 times 12, 84 divided by 4, and I do get that. So I'm just doing it in my head real quick, but that does work. That brings us here. So this is 2 minus 5, and it does understand negative integers, so this should be negative 3. Negative 3 times a positive 3 should give us a negative 9, and that is F. And it does. So far, so good. Now this is unique. I don't have any parentheses, but I have an addition, a multiplication, and subtraction. So if order of operations were to be correct, this is 5 times 3 is 15. Then it reads 2 plus 15 minus 2. Now we do know that the 2 and the negative 2 cancel each other out. So it's essentially a 5 times 3 is 15 number. So I should probably change that at some point, and we do get a 15. And then finally we get 4, but this is a double asterisk, okay? This is not a multiplication. A single asterisk is a multiplication problem. This is how we exponent. So it's 4 raised to the 3rd power. So it's 4 times 4 times 4, which I believe is 64 if I remember correctly. But I need to uncomment the print statement. And it is 64. Okay, fantastic. So we saw that math operations, the order of operations is important. Again, this is not going to print out these. Now, if I did, again, show you this, that if I were to convert that to a string, it would not do the math operation. The quotation marks tell it print out what's inside the quotation marks. So again, running this, and it did. It printed out what's in the quotation marks. And so be very careful. Please be diligent. Take it slowly. Do things over and over and over again. And that's the only way you're really going to get better at coding, is because it's not like reading a book and memorizing some facts. You actually have to do it, see it, sometimes do it again. Brain memory muscle memory, visual memory, and it will all come together. So with that being said, let me stop this particular tutorial and I'll see you next time.